Hi, welcome to Conversations from the Kitchen, where every recipe tells a story and every story brings us closer. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Conversations from the Kitchen, my cucina. I'm Lisa, home cook, recipe creator, and lifelong lover of stories that begin in the kitchen. Thanks for tuning in. This is my very first episode. If you've ever sat around a table and found yourself saying, "Remember that time we made Nona's gravy?" Or "This smells just like grandmother's kitchen," then you're in the right place. I've always believed that food isn't just about ingredients or recipes. It's about memory, connection, and the little stories that simmer along the way. As a kid, I grew up watching Barbara Walters, completely fascinated by how she could make people open up and share who they really are. And I thought, what if I could do that, but through food? Because, food, like life, has layers: a pinch of sweetness, a dash of spice, and sometimes a little bit of a mess. On this podcast, we'll talk about favorite meals, the people who made them special, and the lessons hidden in every ingredient. Sometimes it'll just be me sharing stories from my own kitchen at Lisa's Cucina, and soon I'll be chatting with guests about the dishes and memories that have flavored their lives. Just everyday amazing people like you. Today, I wanted to start by sharing my own story, the meal that started it all for me. When I think about my favorite meal, my mind always goes straight to Sundays. In our house growing up, Sundays wasn't just another day, it was sacred. My mom would make mostaccioli with her famous meatballs and what we called a marinara, aka gravy, because it always had meat simmering in it all day long. I remember the smell would fill the house, that slow, rich sauce bubbling on the stove, garlic and basil in the air. Everyone had to be at the table. There was no excuses. I was the youngest of four, two sisters and one brother. And even though the house was noisy and full of emotion and motion, somehow everything would stop when it was time to eat. There'd always be celery, fresh bread on the table, and my mom would pile our plates so high with pasta that I'd only take a few bites and I already felt full. But somehow I'd always go back for more. My favorite part, though, wasn't the food. It was the stories. My dad would sit literally at the head of the table telling us about growing up in Bari, Italy. Mola di Bari. Yes, yes, he did have a way of talking. He'd start in English and then slipping into Italian mid-sentence, especially when he was really getting into a story. His laughter was huge, big, loud, the kind that filled the room and made everyone else laugh too. I mean, Dad, you were hilarious. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2020 during those hard COVID days that so many of us would rather forget. He was such a hard worker, and a man with a loving heart. And even as he battled Alzheimer's, that spark, that humor and warmth never really left him. Those memories around that Sunday table meant everything to me. That's why I wanted to start this podcast, to continue those traditions, to share stories, and to invite you to do the same. Because when we tell our stories, we keep our loved ones close, and when we laugh together, we fill our rooms and our hearts with something that lasts far longer than any meal. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I hope this becomes a place where we can all share a little food, a few laughs, and a lot of love. You can find some of my recipes and show notes at my website. If you like this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who loves good food and good stories. So until next time, what will you cook? What stories will you share? And who will you connect with today? Keep cooking, keep sharing, and never stop making someone's day a little brighter.